first thing we did was to basically rip out the whole property, right? Hack all the plasterboards, all the stuff that were not working, the laminate flooring, the skirting boards, the architraves. Basically, we went back to work.
Once you're doing these renovations, if you don't have the finance in place,
Put a lock, so you can lock. They will move out, you don't even know who's got it, and then end up being there for years. So basically, we bought the property, we then did a due diligence, we knew that it's a property that we can convert into a HMO.
Yes.
So we did the figures, and then it looks really professional house, isn't it? Like, these are the places where you can literally house working people, right? Which is our target. My investor bought this property behind me for £200,000. We converted it from a 3-bedroom house to a 5-bedroom HMO. Come on with me, let me show you what we did.
Hello,
Rahim. How are you, Marcy? Let me come on in. Tell me about this beautiful house. So before we get going, tell us a bit about yourself.
Oh my God, what do? I work for the NHS. I've been working for the NHS in this country for over 20 years now.
Wow, bless your soul.
Thank you. So I'm looking to retire, but before I do that, I would like to invest some time in doing properties. I've always liked properties.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's a high time now when I retire.
Brilliant.
I need to be doing that.
Fantastic. NHS is a wide organization. What specifically do you? Are you a nurse, doctor?
I'm a doctor.
Doctor, fantastic. So what draws you to property then?
I've always loved properties. Over 20 years ago, I did invest in property, but I think it went pear-shaped. Not because I didn't know what to do. Maybe partly I didn't know what to do, but I got busy. Life got in the way. But I think it's a high time now. I'll have more time to do that.
Fantastic. So obviously we are in Shrewsbury, a beautiful place. It's very beautiful. So what draws us to Shrewsbury?
I think it's a nice little town, not far from Telford, and I think Telford, being near to Birmingham, is a good place to invest in.
Fantastic.
Quiet
Fantastic.
as well.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's a place that would do well.
Fantastic. Okay. Take me back a little bit on what was this property and what have we done here? Because I know you're going to walk me through the process just for the listeners out, for them to know what we've done.
So this was a 3-bedroom property with 2 living rooms, 1 toilet downstairs and 1 bathroom upstairs. It was in a very, very run-down state.
Yeah, watch the video here to see how the property looks. It's not the big one on the video,
okay,
right?
Very run-down state. Yeah. And we managed to get it to what it is now, and it really, really took us a long time. It took very hard-working men to get it where it is.
Fantastic.
And I must mention the guy, Abu Bakr, who's really, really done the good job to get it to where it is. Yeah.
Wow, wow, very, very, very good to know that. So it was a 3-bedroom derelict house. Now, obviously, we've modernized, not just modernized, we've converted it from a 3 to a 5-bedroom ensuite HMO. So, what did we do to make that happen?
A lot of things. Once you get the property, that's not the end of it. You still have to find the funds to do it. Then you then have to go and find apply for the planning permission. Once you get the planning permission, that is now when the work begins. Okay. The race begins.
Exactly, that is a race. You're absolutely right. So
it's a race. Because you're contending with the bridging loan that you took to be able to finish on time so that you can, I call them loan sharks. You pay them back, and also you've got to be on top of the builders to get the work going and get the work done on time. Right. So it is.
And it's very expensive as well, to be honest with you. So basically, we bought the property, we then did a due diligence, we knew that it's a property that we can convert into a HMO. Yes. So we did the figures, and then we instructed our architect to apply for planning permission. We took a bit, maybe about 6 to 8 or 9 weeks, I can't remember now when it was, because it came quicker than we thought, right?
Yes, almost 8 weeks, but I think it came quicker.
You're lucky. I'm telling you now, we've got some of our councils still have not replied back to us. I was surprised because we bought the other property for the intention to do that one before the planning permission comes, and that one, right? And this one then came.
I must also say the Shrewsbury Council is very, very good. I mean, I must give them that credit. I've worked with them, and the building inspector I've worked with has been really, really good. Overall, they've been very good. Every time you call them, hello, can you come and inspect? The next day they're
We are lucky there, to be honest. We're lucky.
They've really
Councils are known for dragging their legs,
This
especially when it
council,
comes to planning.
I give them the credit. They've really worked very well.
Good.
Very well.
So then we got the planning approved. We then do the detailed drawings, which is the technical drawings. We submitted that to building control,
which I didn't know. Once you've given the you've submitted, they give the okay. Then there's also another detailed drawing which I didn't know, which also can take about 2 weeks before it comes back. And then once that has come, that's when we are now to start the work.
So
and also trying to find which builder is the best.
I know.
That's another thing.
That's another thing. So basically, we went out, looked for builders, and we recommended our builders as well, so that we can have a fair playing field. And then we decided to go with this builder, Abubakar here, who works with us. And I think he's done really well, to be honest. I know builders are very hard to manage, but looking at the property now, it looks like he's done what is supposed to be done here. And I just reminded him to put the 6-month warranty in there as well. So if anything goes wrong, he can always come back. So walk me through the process then of what we did when we were renovating here so what was the first thing we did when we got the planning before we started doing the works?
We had to strip down certain
rip out
certain things and then knock down the walls to make the extension. Room is not what it was, because this room had part of it was the living room, so this has to be knocked down plus the next door to become what is now living room, kitchen, diner. We had 2 living rooms, this one and the next one. So this was the living room, part of the living room, and the other one was the living room. So we had to knock that side down. That was the kitchen. That first bedroom there was the kitchen. So that we converted into the bedroom,
which we're going to look at. So basically here was a whole sitting room.
Yes.
And there was a wall going through here, right?
They were separate, 2 separate.
This wall was here already?
Yes, so this is separate. This is the living room, and that was the living room.
And that was the living room. So it's 2 living rooms, but they have separate walls?
Yes, but there was also another extension coming that way, which has a downstairs toilet.
I got you.
Or loo.
I got you. Okay.
It was quite large, almost extending that way. It could fit a tiny bit.
Okay, I got you. And then we then converted this into a bedroom, a self-contained bedroom. And then obviously with this bedroom also comes with a nice, beautiful ensuite.
Yeah, this is an ensuite.
I love the ensuite.
Smaller one. It's the smaller of all the bedrooms.
But look, it does the job.
Yeah.
Look, you can sit here, the sink is there, and look at the shower, good size shower, right? And I also love the tiles. The tiles are amazing.
Yeah, they look quite classy.
Very, very good tiles.
The flooring, I like the flooring.
Yeah, the laminate flooring is also good. So basically what we've done, rip out the whole property, right? Hack all the plasterboards, all the stuff that were not working, the laminate flooring, the skirting boards, the architraves. Basically, we went back to bricks.
It was molded as well.
We went back to bricks, and then obviously then they built all the things. Then they do the first fix of electric, second fix of electric, and then we got the plumbing, first fix and second fix. So this room then basically, it's a very good size room, a double room, small double. And they've got that bathroom there, and they've got the door there, which is really, really beautiful. Fire door. You can open and close by itself. Amazing, right? So then this sitting room then now is a bedroom.
It's becoming a bedroom.
Okay. Now, so let's walk us through bedroom number 2.
This was the kitchen size.
Okay.
But a little bit of the living room that was there was taken to accommodate the bathroom or the shower room.
Okay. So that living room was coming in here as well a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So we create this wall, did we?
Yes.
So we create this wall to have a bit of space for this bedroom to have a bathroom.
Yes.
I got you.
So that's what we did.
Right.
Here.
And then this then instead of becoming a kitchen, then it becomes a nice, lovely bedroom.
Yes. So this is now a bedroom.
And you went expensive on the lights. Yes. It's good. Was materials and labor, right? So you got the alarms in this bedroom. Each room has its bedroom, has its alarm.
Yeah.
And then obviously then you got your delivery now, I think.
That's the delivery.
And then did we build a new staircase, or this staircase was here already?
This staircase was here. The only thing we did was to take away the electric staircase.
The disabled ramp.
Yes.
Or lift that goes round that way, isn't it? Okay, I like the carpet. The carpet looks nice.
Thank you.
I like the handrail here, very compliant as well, actually.
So that was newly fixed.
This one,
we had to put that.
Okay.
It was shot all the way here. So when the building inspector came, he said we needed it to go all the way there, which makes sense because if somebody's gonna fall or they needed support, indeed, it hasn't have to come all the way from here. You have to start
grab it
from
from
there. Yeah, so that's the only thing they saw as an issue. Storage.
What was here? There was something here, no?
No, there wasn't. It was a storage, if I remember off top of my head. There wasn't anything else apart from it being a store.
Oh, okay.
Because the boiler was in the bathroom, which was the bigger bathroom over there.
I maintain it as a storage. So what we'll also do, because it's a HMO property, I'll put a lock here as well. I'll put a lock. If I were, you put a lock, so you can lock. Otherwise, they're gonna put stuff in here.
Okay.
Yeah, and they will move out. You don't even know who's got it, and they'll end up being there for years. Okay. And I like the way they've done the landing here. I like the laminate flooring going out. Okay. Okay, and then this is kind of the circulation here. Yeah. And then we walk into this room here.
So yeah, this
room, is the third bedroom, right?
We thought it was going to be very small. We were like, oh my God, how can we get it as a big room? But surprisingly, it's wide enough. This was where the chimney was.
Oh, the chimney.
This is where the bedroom, the chimney breast, I think, was here.
Yeah, okay.
But this is now how it is. Whether we can put sort of...
This is a wardrobe already. You don't need to buy a wardrobe here.
You need a door.
No, you don't even need a door. All you need is a rail across there, done. Okay. That's it. You don't need a door here. Don't complicate it. Okay. Right, and they can put they can even put a shelf. You can get them to put some brackets here. Put a shelf here. Rail, done.
I thought I would need a door.
No, we don't need. Because it's only one person, right? He's not sharing with anybody else.
No. If he wants, maybe he can bring a chest of drawer.
Correct. That what they've got there is enough. Otherwise, it's going to nick more of space. The only way you can fit a chest of drawer is this side here. But you can only use it when the door is closed. Yes. Right. I'll leave that as it is. Let them bring what they want inside. Okay. Right. Again, obviously, then we have this as an ensuite room. Yeah. Right. It looks beautiful. Look at that shower. Look at the tiles.
Yeah. So this has also turned out to be quite impressive.
Good size here. And then you got your door closures there.
All fire
You've
doors.
got these, all of these are fire doors. Yeah. You've got your fire strips here, which is very good.
It's digital lock as
well. Digital lock, which is very, that means they're not going to say I lost my keys.
Secure. Yes. You can't lose the key and nobody can come in unless you give them the code.
Beautiful, I love that. Yeah. And then this then takes us to bedroom number 4. This is second favorite. I love this one.
Whoever is here will have the chance to look into the garden.
The back garden, isn't it?
Which is quite large.
Yeah, the garden is huge.
It's quite huge. Once it's done nicely, I think it's a good place to sit.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. Right, it's going to be beautiful this way. Okay. And then obviously we've got this bedroom now, and we have the nice, beautiful shower ensuite here. And then obviously you've got the sink, you've got the shower there. And I like these lights, man. You went a while on this. This is expensive.
Like, feel good.
Right. It looks really professional house, isn't it? Like these are the place where you can literally house working people, right? Which is our target market anyway. Yeah, that's what we're right? Yeah. Beautiful, and a good size radiator as well, bigger than what we need in here, but it's good.
It's a quiet neighborhood, so you'd have expected professional people to live in it, so that it's also giving them, a good feel.
Oh, sorry for interrupting this video. I just wanted to draw your attention to a guide I've just created. This guide is for you if you're looking to start and scale in property investment, and you've got questions that you want to ask in order to start your property investment. This guide is the ultimate guide to start and scale in property investment journey. I talk about the different type of investment strategies. I also discuss the 11 ways you can raise finance to make any property no money down deals, and the type of properties to buy in order to generate a serious return in your investment. And I'm giving this book away for completely free of charge, no string attached, nothing, absolutely free. Click the link on the description of this video to get your free guide now. We've only got a limited number of these copies available as well, so click the link to get your guide now. Let's get back to our video. This is my favorite room. No, my favorite room. This is my favorite room, right? I love this room. Job done. Beautiful room. I like this. This is my favorite room, and this room can sleep a couple. I think so. We're gonna charge more for this one. Yeah. So right? This is the largest room because it's also got a bathroom. And the unique thing about it also, it's got a bathtub. It's got a bathroom. Right? Yeah. It's got a bathroom, fully complete bathroom, no shower, and this toilet is the biggest toilet as well. Yeah. Right? Yeah. When you apply for the HMO license, then Did we apply for six persons, right?
I said 6, even up to 7, because that room can also take.
Let's see if they can approve that. If they approve that, we're laughing.
That can also take a couple.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's only that room small, and the downstairs room.
Yeah.
The double room is double, okay, but the other one is definitely single.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
this is quite large.
This is my favorite. You know.
So now I'm expecting them to deliver a bed. So once we've put the bed in, I've brought some beddings to try and
set it up nicely.
Yes, to see how it looks visually.
Yeah, it will look nice. It will
So
look
people
beautiful.
can take pictures so they can visualize what it is like.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it's not going to be their beddings, but at least it gives somebody a feel what the bedroom looks like.
What are the challenges did we face whilst we're doing the works?
I think the biggest challenge when you're doing such kind of a job is the waiting to get the approval from the council. That takes a long time, and once you've got that in place, you still have also to find the finance.
Yeah, sure.
So once you're doing these renovations, if you don't have the finance in place, it can be
delay it a little bit.
delay.
Okay.
So those two are the biggest issue.
Okay.
But once you've got the right builders in place and they're working correctly, they're doing the job as they should, then things go quick.
Fantastic.
And the other thing as well is also the inspectors.
Yes.
Building inspector, very important.
Yes, of course.
Because if they delay, your job is delayed as well.
Yeah, because they can only carry, the builders can only carry on once the building control inspector is happy about about the works that have been done. So yeah, you mentioned a bit about the finances then. So what challenge did you get to raise finance? How did you raise the finance?
So I had to refinance.
Okay. So we had to refinance, right? So what did we refinance?
The property that I had.
Another investment property, right? So what we did basically, we already have an investment property, right? What we did was to refinance, remortgage that property because the equity has gone up. We pull the money from that and then we funnel it in here. So in essence, the other property contributed to build this house. Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So that then saves us a lot of money, to be honest with you, in terms of interest payment, in terms of delay to get a bridging loan, because if you got a development loan, every time they release funds, someone needs to come and inspect the property, qualify or quantify what's been done before they release the funds. So that would have delayed it again a bit more. So well done for doing that. So we use that money. Is that the money we use to buy and renovate or just to renovate the property?
Both.
Both. Fantastic. Here you go. Buy houses, right? Because when you buy houses, you look after themselves. So very, very beautiful. So then we got that money with the help of our mortgage brokers. They were able to raise that money. Then we use that money then to kind of invest here. And now we kind of almost, we have finished the property basically. So what other challenge then did you face? Do we have any other challenge with the builders?
The builders have no issues. We're okay with the builders.
Okay.
They've done what they've done. They've managed to keep. The stalling bit, I think, it's things that they needed to be redone because of maybe little issues that didn't go well or that was not done according to what the inspectors wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, when it comes to renovation, we would expect that in some cases because, you know, everybody got the way they do stuff. And that's the reason why we've got building control. So they can say, look, this has not been done how it's supposed to be done, especially if the builder did not get what they were saying. Then as long as it's amendable or fixable, it's better. It's when they say you have to undo all these and go back to bricks. That's where the problem is. So it's good that that had happened. But also I think we had a bit of delay with the water, no?
Yes. So that was the other thing, because going from 3-bedroom to change it into HMO, the water, I think, the pipes have to be a certain measure. Is it 33?
It was 33
So
or 32. We had to move it to about
35.
38 or 42, right? Or 40?
35, I think thereabout, I can't remember. So for that to happen, we have to apply. And the process takes almost 8 weeks as well.
8 weeks, okay.
So there was a bit of a delay there. But whilst they were waiting, the good thing is they were still doing other jobs.
Doing the works, okay. So basically all the plumbing works were going, central heating were going, whilst we're waiting for the water supply to come in.
Yeah, because
Beautiful.
this was where the bedroom was, and somewhere here along that way was where the toilet was.
Okay. So this was
here,
which part of this area was part of the second sitting room?
This was the first sitting room. That was the second sitting room.
Sitting room.
So the extension went from somewhere here.
Here.
And this was the toilet. That was
So
the
this
toilet.
is the extension. This is what we added.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And then this was the toilet here as well. This
Okay.
was, part of this was the toilet
Okay.
downstairs.
So this is where the house stopped initially.
Yeah. So
Right.
this was extended.
And then we had the extension. So all this, my beautiful kitchen is an extension basically.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
This has
So we did not just renovate it. We also added more
we
space to
extended,
it.
So
Beautiful.
the square foot should be bigger now.
Yeah. I love the kitchen. The kitchen is beautiful, man. I like the way they've done it. You know, look at these hobs.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
It's quite nice. It's quite
Yeah,
nice.
very, very beautiful. So for the doctors, nurses out there that are saying, "Oh, I'm so busy, I cannot get into property," what advice do you have for those people?
I think everybody's busy. It's a matter of you allocating the time. Everybody, the rich, the poor, the sick, the healthy, everybody's got 24 hours in a day. It's a matter of how you allocate them.
True.
So,
Absolutely.
yes, we're busy, but you can find that time. Whether
Okay.
during your leave time, whether during evening time. At the beginning, you need to put extra work. But I think as the time goes, it eases off.
Yeah. You got to invest that time.
Yeah.
Not like a lots of time, because that's what the doctors or the nurses are worried about, thinking this is a full-time job.
Weekend.
You got to be on it. So how were you able to manage that? Because I know you're a very busy person as well. How were you able to manage your property stuff and your actual day-to-day job? Weekends, right?
Weekends. So evening, I take like 2 hours to study and do a bit of studies and read around it and do searching for properties and all that. But most of the time, it's the weekend that I invest.
Fantastic. So now I'm going to touch on the ladies there a little bit, because some ladies have a bit of skepticism when it comes to property. So what advice you have for the ladies that are thinking, oh, property is for men, not a female thing, and that maybe the builders are going to treat them differently? What advice you have for those people?
Jobs have got no gender. You know, we used to think being a pilot is a man's job, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Now women do fly aeroplanes. Women are engineers. Women are all sorts of things. I think if you put your mind to it, you can do it. It's just a matter of changing your mindset.
Absolutely.
And going to do it. It's doable.
Okay.
It can be tough, but it's doable.
Okay. So basically, whether you are a woman or a man, it does not really matter. Is the commitment, right? So okay, fine. So thank you so much for that. So looking at the figures now, this is where I get excited a little bit, right? So we bought the property. How much did you buy? How much did you buy it for?
So we spent £200.
So £200,000 to buy it.
But yeah.
Okay.
Double to go down.
Yeah, and
But plus other costs.
and what is the renovation cost?
The renovation itself about 115.
115. So 200 plus 115. That's about £315,000. Okay. So looking at that that's our initial investment. Roughly, then, what's the estimated value that we think we're gonna get from it?
Probably I'm hoping to get about 530.
530.
525.
525. So if we go for 525, then basically this is what's going to happen. So basically we invested £200,000 to buy the property. Renovation cost about 115,000.
But that's without the auction fees.
Without the auction fees. So roughly with the auction fees, how much do you reckon the auction fees are?
Remember we paid about 5 plus another 2 thereabout. Let's say we give it another 10.
Another £10,000 here. Okay. Any other cost? Like bringing the water in, it's included 115, right?
Yes.
Okay. How about your travel cost? Did you include it here?
I didn't, but we give it about 500 or 700.
Okay, let's round that to £1,000. Your travel cost to come and inspect the property, about £1,000. And anything else?
No, I think that should be
Right,
it.
okay. So that's our total initial investment of £326,000. Right, so remember that figure for me. So if it comes back at 500 and how much? 20, you said, right? 525,000 minus 300 and how much? 326,000. Basically, we have been able to pay all our investors plus £199,000.
If
right?
we get it, yeah.
If we get it at that price, we'll make £199,000 profit. But if we're going to remortgage it, this is what's going to happen. 520, this is the value of the property. The bank will lend us 75% of that amount. This is where we're going to know if we recycle our money or not.
Yeah.
That takes you to £390,000. Okay, so if you come at that price, you're going to love this. Minus what our initial investment, £326,000. So £326,000. This is the time I dropped my phone. You would have basically
gained that.
Not gain. I mean, that's not gain. That's not just gain. Meaning you've recycled all your money.
Yeah.
Right. Everything.
Yeah.
All your £326,000. You would have taken that back into your bank account. You pay your investors. You get all your money back. Plus £64,000.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I want to gain that.
Wow. Plus a free house.
Yeah. Cash plus the money if we get that.
If we get that. Plus a free house. And this house, if you're gonna rent it, I checked when I come in, each room minimum is £600, right? Now we've got a double room here, right? So let's just do you said one room will sleep 2 people. Let's just say one room will sleep 2 people. So 4 bedrooms would make you 2,400. The one for the couple is normally 1.5 when it comes to the rent. So 600 plus 300, that's gonna be 6, 7, 8, 900, right? You add another 900 here. The property will generate you £3,300 every single month.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
And you times that by 12, you're talking about £39,600.
Okay, but the mortgage?
So 3,300. Management fees, let's say, is 10%.
Okay.
Yes? That's £330. Minus your 300 what electricity and gas. Minus your Wi-Fi is at 30. Minus water, 70. There's one more thing. Insurance, 50. So, no, that's not correct. Oh, we forget to take the interest.
Mortgage.
Yes, 1,600. So making £920 if we take all those bills out. Times that by 12, you're on £11,000. Plus you got the house for free.
Yeah, if it's making about 900, I'm not complaining.
We are laughing. Because the minimum you make for HMO is about £800 profit. Right? So if you're making 920, we are laughing. Can I give me 5, man? Can I give me even a hug, man?
To get there.
Even a hug. Wow, this is good. This is very, 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 very good.
My only thing now is whether we'll value it at that.
We're going to hope they evaluate it on that. Fantastic. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the figures. I hope it comes to that figure. Let's pray. Let's go and pray. I don't know what religion are you, right? Let's go and pray so that we get it, right? Christian, right? Go pray to Jesus, right? Christian. So for the people that have never worked with me then in a one-on-one level or come to my programs, what do you think about my program? So.
Well, unless one goes and try, they wouldn't know. Yeah. But I think it's been a fantastic journey. It's been slow a bit, not anything to do with you, but I think it's because of the same word, being busy and having my hand full. But once you get on board and you get the right property with the right mentorship you've got, one gets there.
Fantastic. Okay. Also then, now that you've done this property, we're going to remortgage. I know we have bought another property already. So what is the plan then for the next few months? So
the plan is not to stop because I want to get my hands dirty again, get that other property sorted. But in the meantime, if I've got the cash, I'm still looking. I may get another property.
Fantastic, fantastic. Look, it's an absolute pleasure working with you. You've been a legend. Basically, you only call me when you know you need stuff. You don't just call me, Rahim, I want to hear your voice. So I am really, really excited. When I walked into the property, it looks nice. It looks beautiful. What also makes me happy is the building control, but also not having back and forth with the builders, arguing, fighting, because that's where sometimes some of the investors get deflated, you know. So, and some of them don't know about other builders. They only know my builder, but they're thinking my builders are this and that. But the other people that I've seen both of the sides were like, look, this is gold. So I'm happy we didn't have that conversation here. But also one of the things that really helped us, which you don't realize, is that including the materials into it, because I knew you were busy. You don't have time going on the internet, start looking for materials.
No, I wouldn't know how to buy. I wouldn't know how to buy things because measurements. If you say you're going to source the material yourself, what do you know? How do you know what to buy? That's the problem. Or what amount to buy. That is also one thing, and it's time delaying as well.
So that has speed up the process. You know, absolutely, it has literally speed up the process. So that is one of the things that really makes me happy, knowing that then you're kind of a bit comfortable. I see you today here, you are relaxed. You know, builders was also relaxed. That's what I want to see. Because sometimes you don't want to walk into, especially builders that I don't deal with. I walk into the property, they got their own builders, but they're so stressed out. You know, we're picking all silly things, and they're stressed out and all that. But here we walked in, you're relaxed, calm, and no problem at all. And you even give me a present, which is amazing as well. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you, carrying on to the next one.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Just waiting for the next approval. Thank you very much.
No problem. Yeah. That is beautiful, man.
Thank you very much for the team.
This is how you renovate a property. You don't renovate it because you just want to renovate. You want to renovate because you want to add value, not just adding value, but also changing the use to ensure that whoever lives in this property will feel comfortable, want to live here for a very, very long time. And I've seen investors buying properties, trying to do shortcuts, you know, do things shabby way. It's not going to get you there. It might resolve the problem temporarily, but in the long run, it's going to cause you lots of problems. This investor committed to it, invested heavily. She's even have a utility room, everything done really nice and tidy, and she'll be able to charge a lot more for her property. This is what you call adding value. This is what you call making money in a way that it doesn't come back biting you or causing you another job, etc., etc. So if you want to learn how to make, manage, and multiply income through investment property, click the link somewhere on this video to reserve your free, no obligation consultation to speak to one of my investors to see how we'll be able to help you make money work for you instead of you working for it. But also, if you like this video or any of my videos, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing the next one.